Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to announce our 2014 recruiting class. It's probably one of the more talented recruiting classes than we've had over the last several years, or at least my 10 years being here at the University of Nevada. And I mean, it is the most diverse as possible that we could have had, in hitting just about most of our major event groups that we are pretty strong in. So we're pretty excited about them this year, upcoming this year, and I'd like to share them with you. Our first signee, we'll go in alphabetical order. Our first signee is Christine Ackerman. She hails from Germany, and she is a 400 hurdler. She'll be a transfer student from a university in Germany. And she will help an area that we haven't had representation in about, let's see, this is about 3 or 4 years now. The last time we had 400 hurdlers was in 2010, so really filling a gap that we've had kind of vacant over the last several years. Alana Anderson, she hails from actually not too far away from here, over in Colorado. She's a long distance runner, mile, 2 mile, cross country. We're really excited about her. We think that she'll be able to step right in and help fill some very big shoes that Sam Diaz is leaving for us. But we think her and a couple other kids I'll be mentioning here shortly will be able to do that, and we won't miss a step going into the 2014 cross country season. McKenna Evans hails from Minnesota, the home state of our distance coach, Kirk Elias. And we are really excited about McKenna Evans, and she was just a ball of fire and a ball of fun. And of course, she has the talent to back it up. We're really excited about it. I think somehow as a recruit, she's kind of wiggled her way into making sure that we attend the Roy Griak Invitational during the cross-country season. She wants to make sure she goes back home and shows her home state what she's done as a collegiate freshman, and we're pretty excited about it. And we know that she will just continue to build that depth that will be missed from Sam Diaz leaving. Brittany Graves, with the departure of Deborah Moa and La Tierra Avery in the 2013 season, you know, she helps to fill some pretty big shoes. She hails from Canada. We're spending a lot of time in Canada. You'll see that a couple of other recruits are from Canada. We have some kids on our team right now from Canada. But tremendous athlete. She's got the height, the size of a national class triple jumper, and she's got the marks to kind of back that up. We're looking forward to her. She's got some pretty big numbers. She actually also does a little dabble in a little 400 hurdles too, but you know, I think our main focus with her is going to be in the jumps, trying to improve her in the long, but most definitely focusing in the triple, filling those shoes that's left by Amoa. We also have Desiree Pennington. Desiree Pennington is also hails from California, Oakdale area in the Central Valley. Also another triple jumper. These kids have lots of talents, from hurdles to other sports and things of that nature, but she, again, we hope to get some depth in that triple jump area, in the jumps area, trying to, you know, bolster our opportunities for scoring in the Mountain West. I think she'll be able to, you know, step right in and give us some immediate impact. Alyssa Porter. Alyssa comes from Washington, and you know, basketball player, track athlete, dual sport, very strong academically, and just an all-around just good kid. Nothing but great things that her coach, when I called to talk to her about her athlete there, had to say about Alyssa. And you know, in the past, just a year ago, you know, we took 4 girls to the national championships in the 4x1. We scored 2nd through 5th in the indoor 60-meter dash, and you know, this year we're a little down in that area, and we hope that signing Alyssa will help to you know, bolster up that and build some depth in that area. That's some of the, you know, we're looking for depth in certain areas, especially our strong points as coaches, and Alyssa helps to fill that. You know, she hails with that PR of 11:96, and you know, we think she'll run faster this outdoor season. Marissa Swan, native Nevadan. She comes from Southern Nevada, miler, 2 miler. You know, she's highly ranked right now in the state in those events, And you know, we're just excited. We think she's going to be the next new Krista Avina, who was one of our top distance runners a few years ago. We're really looking forward to seeing how she continues to develop, and know that she will, you know, make an impact in our program. Alexandra Tierney. Alexandra is also from Canada, and she is a 100 and 400 hurdle specialist. Has just a strong athlete in that, you know, personal best of 14:06 and 61:63 over the 400 hurdles. She's going to be a triple threat. Another great size. Kid's like 5'11", runs like a gazelle. We're so excited. Just going to really bolster that 400 hurdle group, and you know, we're looking to get some depth. That is actually one event that is very strong in the Mountain West. From 1 through 5 last year, it took 59 seconds to make the conference championship final. But you know what? We think with these kids running 61 seconds as a high school junior, she'll be come right in and step in and be able to score immediately. Jerian Wells. Jerian Wells comes to us from Pleasant Grove High School in Elk Grove, California. Not too far, although she's not a Nevadan, but still is kind of pretty close to home there. We think that she has potential to really develop and turn into one of the top athletes in our program. A little bit more on the developmental side, but we really think that she'll be able to step in and be you know, one of those contributors early in her career within her first or second year of college. Makia White, Makia hails from the Bahamas, short sprinter with PRs of 11:88 and 24:30. Very excited about Makia. Again, looking back to that team of 2013 and the depth we had in the sprints, and looking that she helps to fill those areas in both the 100 and 200 and also the relays. So you can't, you know, when you get a kid that comes across your way that way with those kinds of marks and those kinds of times, you know, you have to go after them and grab them. Catherine Surin is also one of our signees, hails from Quebec. The interesting thing about Catherine, although she came to Nevada, we signed her based on her own you know, athletic accomplishments, but she does come from a strong pedigree in that her dad is the gold medalist for Canada on their relay teams. And you know, Catherine was a tennis player through and throughout most of her career, decided to change up, and in 2 years went out and ran 55:63 in the 400, and we're really excited about having her join our program. You know, it's just, we look at this program, and when you look at it, we have some short sprinters, we have some long hurdlers, some short hurdlers, and then this long sprinter, distance runners, and 2 jumpers. And it's, when you look at each kid's accolade, we are very excited about the future of Nevada track and field. This is the first time that we brought in this number of incoming freshmen. It will rival last year's freshman class, but the level of talent in this freshman class is unsurpassed, and we're pretty excited about what's going to happen for our future at Nevada.
Coach, you have a lot of international student athletes in this class, and may join some returning athletes who are also international. Is there something you like about having international student athletes, and any challenges that comes with recruiting and coaching them?
You know, there are some challenges that that you do entail with the international students. Now that we've got them coming from Canada, we've had them from Australia, Poland, Germany, and now the Caribbean as well. And mainly the issues that we see with recruiting is just getting a chance to make sure you can see the talent compete. The last couple of years, we've invested sending our coaches up to the Canadian Junior Nationals so that we get an opportunity to identify the talent and see it compete and see how it handles competition and see what it's doing when it's actually at its best. I think that's really the key, is being able to do that. And a lot of times with kids, you don't. But the thing too is also the internet. The vastness of the internet is very, very helpful in the recruiting process, for being able to get video of kids watching them run in competitions, especially major competitions. The other part of this recruiting class, this international recruiting class, is they have international competition experience. So they're used to going to the World Youth Games. They're used to going to Carifta Games or Pan Am Juniors and things of that nature. So they've seen people from all walks of life, all countries, competing all as one, including the U.S. So that gives them that little bit of edge, maybe, than some of the U.S. kids. Thankfully to the internet, we're able to get video, and then you can find results just on about any and every competition that's out there, just because of the way data is recorded and obtained in our sport. So that helps, and making contacts with coaches and spending more time. This summer, our goal is to get out and go into Europe this summer and do some recruiting, and then also to get into the Caribbean area and do more recruiting, because we need to continue to identify talent. The Mountain West Conference is a very deep and rich conference as far as talent is concerned. I mean, it produces national champions, it's produced Olympians, it's produced American record holders in the most recent future. And so, it's like we've got to obviously develop talent, but we've also got to bring in talent that can be able to compete right away with those types of athletes.
This is a very balanced recruiting class. When you set out on your last recruiting trip, did you really look to fill specific points, or were you looking to bolster areas that you've already got athletes in strength for?
It's kind of twofold, because we obviously were really strong last year in the sprints. The sprinters scored a boatload of points last year, making NCAAs, getting honorable mention All-American honors, school records, yada, yada, yada. And so making sure that we have the talent in those areas to be able to go out and do that kind of performance was key for us. Along with other areas where, such as distances, we know we were losing some major talent, so we've got to bring in some talent to be able to, possibly step in those shoes. It's going to be big shoes to fill, but at least that, we've got the talent that possibly could go and do that. In areas such as the jumps and in the long hurdles, those are areas where this year we're kind of down in. We had the graduation from the 2013 crew, and so we were successful there. Those kids, Deborah Moa made the NCAA first round 3 years in a row. She went, her junior year, she went out and scored 20 plus points for us at a championship. You just can't, it's difficult to replace that. But bringing in two kids, it's going to be key for us to get back in there and get in the scoring areas for the Mountain West. And then looking at the 400 hurdles, we were successful. Polly Smith, who graduated in 2009, went to the NCAA first round, at that point in time is the regional meet, 2 years straight. Then the next year we bring in another kid, she goes to the first round, and then all of a sudden we don't recruit anymore 400 hurdles. So we were very successful scoring points every championship. We were successful even taking some kids and teaching them how to hurdle right before the conference championship and step on the track and compete for us in the WAC. The Mountain West is a little bit different story, but these kids have the potential to be able to go in there and help us out right away in the Mountain West. So by design, somewhat, yes, but their needs, and those are our strengths as a coaching staff.
Okay, Coach, do you expect any of these recruits to make an impact in their first year, specifically within the Mountain West Conference?
I do. But the truth is they're freshmen. And so you have to be, there's a fine line, because you've got talent, and they can compete, and that they can help you. But it is a huge amount of pressure to place right away on freshmen, especially if they don't come from places where, because the collegiate conference environment is often different than anything else that they've ever experienced, right? Because it's much like trying to win a state championship. And not every kid gets an opportunity to be on a team to be a part of winning a state championship. So we've got a very fine line we've got to walk with these kids, because we've got some very good talent. They can help us out right away as freshmen, but it could go either way. Some of these kids are well trained. They come from very developed training programs, and so our key is obviously to keep that going right and not miss a beat there. Some kids come from low mileage high school programs, and then when you come to college and have to get through 3 seasons, you have to start to bolster those miles. But you got to be careful, because the body can break down. So can they score? Do we have some kids who could score? Yes. Could Makia White score? Could Alexandria Tierney score? Could Catherine Cern score? Could McKenna Evans score? Could Elena Anderson score? Yes. But it's that fine line, with that freshman group. It's way easier to go and say, I'm going to take that senior and go out there and go score. She's already been through it. She's seen it. She's felt the pressure, and she's been able to handle it. But when you even look back, say, 4 recruiting classes ago, so long ago, but Cashay Knox, when she was a freshman, I mean, she won Freshman Athlete of the Year, went out and got second at the conference championship in the 60-meter dash. So it's that balance. The talent's there. We just got to get it to produce.
You've talked about bolstering some areas and replacing some of the great athletes that you've graduated over the last year or two. Was there one specific thing that you felt you had to accomplish with this recruiting class in terms of filling the hole or providing depth?
It's finding the kids that can help you immediately. Being that, it's not like every day that you can get, a 42-foot triple jumper coming into your program every single day. So it's finding the right kid that can help you right away, that's got that mix of talent and also that upswing, that upside that that if you work with them for a year, that you'll be able to get them to possibly get somewhere close to that. That's probably the thing, is just making sure that we fill our areas where we have holes, but the level of talent is got to be key. Because if we probably could have had a recruiting class of, say, 25, but then the talent level starts to get watered down with that 25. And so it's like finding the right kids in this particular class that helps us fill the gaps and then helps us bolster some depth. We've always, historically, before even I came to Nevada, we've always been a strong distance program. So making sure you identify the right talent that's on the upswing to fill big shoes but provide depth is key. And the other areas we've just been continuing to grow as far as the sprints and jumps. We've seen major point production in those areas over the last couple of years. We saw it the last year in 2013 in our first Mountain West Indoor and Outdoor Championships, and we expect to continue to see it with this class. Thank you.